Electrostatics, Electric Scalar Potential, series on Electromagnetic Field Theory, lecture number 1.31. Electric scalar potential is able to provide useful and also critical information pertaining to static electric fields. Field intensity is also provides information, but it is a vector quantity. Dealing with scalar quantities is considered less difficult compared to vector quantities. In this aspect, electric scalar potential is referred to field intensity in describing or in dealing with electrostatic fields. Static potential, scalar potential can be computed from field expression. It can also be computed from source distribution. In the first half of the present session, our focus is on how to compute potential when field intensity is available. In the second half, our concentration is on calculating potential when charge distribution is given. Before going to deal with the actual calculations, let us consider a few important points regarding scalar potential. It can be computed in two ways, using potential field relation or using potential charge relation. In the first method, expression for field is required. In the second method, charge distribution is necessary. Both of them involve integration, but all the time it may not be possible to integrate. Hence, only certain field or charge configurations, for them only one can find out potential. One can opt for numerical methods, but they have their own limitations like errors, accuracy issues, requiring a computer, need to program, some other special issues crop up when you opt for numerical methods. Here, both the methods, potential field relation method, potential charge relation method, both the methods are illustrated considering various standard charge distributions. 4 charge distributions are considered to illustrate these two methods. One is infinite straight line charge, second one is infinite plane sheet charge, third one is hollow spherical shell. We consider a field point both outside as well as inside the shell. Solid spherical charge, here also, in this case also, we consider field point both outside as well as inside the charge. Here, in a tabular form, the field intensity and potential functions both are given for various charge distributions. For infinite line charge, V equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon natural logarithm rho r by rho. Here, note this expression, it is relative potential, whereas all other expressions for potential are absolute potential expressions. For infinite line charge, zero potential point exists nowhere, so you cannot have absolute potential, so relative potential is given. Corresponding field expression you can find in the next column. Similarly, for all other distributions which we are going to consider right now, infinite plane sheet charge, spherical shell, solid sphere, outside, inside, the expressions are given for potential as well as field intensities. As already mentioned in the first half of this session, our focus is on finding potential using field. Finding expressions that are available in the last column, finding expressions for potential that are there last but one column. So we are going to use fields in the first half. That's why we consider infinite straight line charge and use this expression Vp, defining relation, connecting relation between potential and field intensity. This relation we use to find out potential at a point P. So graphically I can say like this, here is some charge with the density lambda, here is a point, this point is at a distance of rho. What is V here? Potential here. Using V equal to integral E dot dl, this expression, here I am going to illustrate how V can be found. First we should have expression E. This expression for infinite straight line charge is lambda by 2 pi epsilon rho cap. So it involves rho, therefore this expression is in cylindrical coordinate system. E is in cylindrical coordinate system, so to evaluate this expression, dl also we must use cylindrical expression of dl, that is this one, d rho cap, rho d phi cap, dz z cap. After dot product, what we have is minus lambda by 2 pi epsilon infinity to rho, dou rho by d rho by rho. Now integration leads to natural logarithm of infinity whose value is indeterminate. So potential is indeterminate when reference is infinity. Therefore absolute potential exists not for infinite straight line charge. Relative potential, of course we can calculate. Relative potential exists for any charge distribution. Let us suppose I want potential at point point P with respect to another point which is at a radial distance of rho r. This is a reference point. Let us call it Q. With respect to Q, I want potential P. Then lower limit becomes rho r. Performing integration and substitution of limits leads to lambda by 2 pi epsilon natural logarithm rho r by rho. So in this, by considering this problem, this charge distribution, what we come to know is for infinite straight line charge, absolute potential exists not. This is one thing. Second thing is for this charge distribution, zero potential point exists nowhere. Now we consider two infinite straight line charges of opposite polarity. One carrying positive charge and another carrying negative charge. I am interested in actually this, the interest in this configuration is, this is actually parallel wire transmission line. One carrying positive charge, another carrying negative charge. We are interested in finding field intensity at point P. Reference point is O. It is indicated as O. The potential obeys superposition principle. Therefore, potential at P due to this charge distribution is potential due to individual charges. Sum of potentials due to individual charges. So the potential at P with respect to reference Y is sum of potential due to individual charges. Potential due to positive charges given by this formula. Potential negative charges due to this. Now we can manipulate this and write like lambda by 2 pi epsilon natural logarithm rho minus by rho plus lambda by 2 epsilon natural logarithm a plus by a minus. Here rho plus rho minus, this is rho minus, this is rho plus, this is a plus, this is a minus. All the distances are indicated in the diagram. Now this is the potential. This is relative potential. Now as the reference point moves towards infinity, the ratio a plus by a minus tends to be 1, resulting in a value of 0 to the second term. It becomes 0. Thus, potential of a given parallel wire conductor system with reference to infinity is Vp is lambda by 2 epsilon natural logarithm rho minus by rho plus. So this expression can be considered as expression for absolute potential of parallel wire transmission line. Individual lines may not have absolute potentials. Individual conductors may not have absolute potentials, but when the line as a whole, line means two conductors. Here, if we consider the line as a whole, we can see here it has absolute potential. Next, we consider infinite sheet charge. Expression for field is E equal to sigma by 2 epsilon z cap. We can think it as in cylindrical system. We can think it as a Cartesian system expression also, but here we consider it as it is in cylindrical. This is the expression. This is E. So dl, we have to use expression for dl in cylindrical system. So considering dot product results minus sigma by 2 epsilon infinity to z dz. Now it results in an expression which involves infinity. It means it is indeterminate. Potential is indeterminate. So if we consider infinity, reference point infinity, then potential is indeterminate. Therefore, I can say absolute potential exists not with respect to infinity. Z tends to infinity. But if you consider z equal to 0, let us see what happens. When z is 0, in place of infinity, 0 goes and sits there, resulting in minus sigma by 2 epsilon into z. So when z equal to 0, potential is, or with respect to z equal to 0 point. Z equal to 0 point is a point that is lying over the sheet. It may be origin or it may be some other point. All points over the sheet are z equal to 0 point. So when we consider reference point as z equal to 0 point, then potential is there. So we can conclude, we can draw certain inference that potential 0 point exists for plane sheets. It is z equal to 0 point. With respect to z equal to 0, potential is 0. How can we know potential is 0 at z equal to 0? See, this is the expression. Substitute z equal to 0 here. How much you are getting? We are getting 0. Potentially, when z equal to 0, we are getting 0. So, potential is 0 at z equal to 0. Therefore, absolute potential, 0 potential point is z equal to 0 point. So, hence, absolute potential exists for plane sheet charges. Relative potential also exists. Of course, as I already mentioned, for any charge distribution, relative potential exists. It can be computed. Let us say relative potential point, the reference point is zr. Then, this is the expression. Before going further, it is required to be stated 2 points. One point regarding infinite straight line charge. The relative potential of a straight line charge, it is dependent upon the distance of the point, radial distance of the point from the charge distribution. Rho, it is dependent only on rho, not on phi or not on z. Whereas potential, as far as infinite plane sheet is concerned, potential depends upon height coordinate, that is z, not on rho, not on phi. Now we consider charged spherical shell. This is of course expression, general expression. Now we consider the point outside, field point outside, like this. Field point is outside the spherical shell. Field outside the shell is given by this form. Outside 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r square r cap. Of course, inside you can see in the table, inside it is 0. We will come to that point later. Time being, point is outside, field point is outside, field intensity outside is this one. Here r prime is there, r square is there, so expression is in spherical coordinate system. So dl, for dl you have to use expression in spherical system. Now dot product results this expression. dr by r square integral q by 4 pi epsilon negative sign and all. Now to find potential, we have to integrate infinity to, point is at a distance of h naught, so infinity to h naught. Substitute, put limits, perform integration. It results in q by 4 pi epsilon h naught. Okay, fine. Next we consider the point inside the spherical shell. To compute potential inside the shell, what we do is we split the integral infinity to p. This integral we split it into two. One infinity to a. A is radius of the shell, and second one is a to hi. Integration is infinity to hi. We split it into one infinity to a, another is a to hi. Inside the integration, first integral, we have to keep the field intensity outside. Inside the second integral, we have to keep field intensity that is existing inside the shell. But inside the shell, field intensity is 0. That's why I kept 0. So this term becomes 0. You are left with only this term. Performing results 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by a. Here q is total charge over the spherical shell. Another charge distribution, solid charged sphere we consider. Here also two situations we have to consider. In the first situation, we consider field point outside, like here, at a distance of h naught from the center. In the second situation, we consider field point inside the charged sphere at a distance of hi. Radius is considered to be a. Now to compute when field point is outside, to compute potential when field point is outside, E. E outside is given by this formula. From the table already shown, we can pick it out. This is in spherical coordinate system. So dl also we have to use spherical coordinate system expression. Dot product results in this point. Now when the field point is outside, integration is from infinity to h naught. Perform integration. It results 1 by r. Limits are infinity to h naught. We can substitute, resulting in 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by h naught. Here q is total charge over the entire. When field point is inside, integration, again what we have to do is we divide the integral into two. This integral into two. Infinity to a, one integral, a to p, a to hi, another integral. Infinity to a and a to hi. Why? Reason is field expressions are different. When field point is outside, we have one field expression. When field point is inside, we have another expression. So expressions are different. That's why to facilitate integration, we divide the total integral into two parts. Now integration outside gives rise to infinity to a. Of course, minus q by 4 pi epsilon is there. 1 by r square dr minus q by 4 pi epsilon. This is integration inside, r by a cube dr. Now computing, performing this integration ultimately results this particular expression. Now we move on to second half. The solution procedure in the second half. As already mentioned, in the second half we try to find out scalar potential when charge distribution is given, when charge distribution is available. The solution procedure involves selecting appropriate coordinate system. It depends upon the symmetry involved in the source distribution. Then locating source over the coordinate system. Location of the source over the coordinate system, it plays an important role in simplifying the solution procedure. Then selecting appropriate potential formula. If the charge distribution is a line charge, then one formula you have to select. When it is surface charge, another. When it is volume charge, appropriate one we have to select. These three steps are common to all the source distributions. First, we consider infinite straight line charge. Here is shown lambda is charge density. You see here it is extending to infinity. Below it is extending to infinity. Upwards also. Downwards, upwards, infinity, infinity. In solving this problem, we consider cylindrical system because line is a cylinder, radius tending to 0. We place the charge over z-axis with the field point over xy plane. The appropriate formula is P equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon integral lambda dl. Lambda means density, charge density, dl is differential length, r is distance from, let us say this is source point, this is field point, r is distance between source and field points. As the charge is located over z-axis, dl becomes dz. And as field point is over xy plane, r becomes square root of r square plus z square. With this understanding, now let us move to actual solution process. See, this is charge. We consider differential length, differential charge here. This is field point over xy plane. Now we try to apply that 1 by 4 pi epsilon lambda dl becomes dz, lambda dl by r becomes already seen rho square plus z square half. Now if you try to integrate, what we get is something which is indeterminate because 0 to infinity. If you substitute infinity, what do you get? Infinity. It indicates that absolute potential exists not for infinite straight line charge. Now let us consider another one, infinite sheet charge. Here coordinate system we consider is cylindrical system. We locate this charge over xy plane with field point over z axis somewhere here. This is field point. We locate this over a cylindrical coordinate system. Field point, see that field point is lying over z axis. The appropriate formula is this, V equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon integral sigma dA by r. Sigma is surface charge density, coulombs per meter square. Notice here a finite radius circular charge is shown. Radius is A. When radius tends to infinity, naturally this surface charge becomes an infinite sheet charge. As charge is over xy plane, differential area dA becomes rho d phi. We are in a cylindrical system. To solve this problem, differential area is for the present configuration rho d phi. Distance, this distance, let us suppose you have considered some differential area here. This distance is rho square plus z square. This is z. If you think it is z, this is rho. Now with this understanding, with this preparation, let us go to the solution of actual problem. So here is source point, source area surrounding source point. This is field point. Now potential is sigma dA by r. This is r. And I want potential due to the entire sheet which is extending up to infinity. So 0 to A. First I am considering finite radius sheet. To begin with, I am considering finite radius sheet, radius A. I get an expression. I have an expression. Integration is 0 to A. So I have an expression. So for finite radius circular sheet, absolute potential exists. And it is given by this formula. Sigma by 2 epsilon square root of A square plus H square minus H. Now as A, when A tends to infinity, this sheet becomes infinite sheet. And what happens to potential function? Let us see. Potential as A tends to infinity, it becomes indeterminate. What does it mean? Absolute potential for an infinite sheet charge with respect to infinity point doesn't exist. That is the inference one can draw from these expressions. Next, we consider spherical shell charge. Coordinate system is spherical system. We have to consider appropriate one is spherical system. Location is center of the charge over the origin. We consider field point outside as well as inside. Now, location, on one more point regarding location. We place the charge over the coordinate system, center over the origin, okay, and we orient then it in such a way that field point is over z-axis. we consider a small differential area dA prime a square sine theta d theta prime d phi prime. This area is located surrounding source point whose coordinates are a, theta prime, phi prime. Now the distance r is distance between source point and field point. This is cosine rule. Full-fledged information we can have from this slide. So this is charge distribution. This is source point differential area. This is field point. First he is evaluating potential due to the charge that is within differential area, and then he is evaluating potential due to the entire spherical shell. So this is the formula when the point is outside. Field point is outside. Integration is h naught minus a. This is h naught. This is a. H naught minus a. H naught minus a to h naught plus a. So with these limits, the entire spherical surface is covered. Now, when the point is inside, limits are a minus hi to a plus hi. Here h naught minus a to h naught plus a, whereas a minus hi to a plus hi when point is inside. So with those limits, we can find 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by a. Here q by r, here it is q by a. It means potential is constant when the point is inside. See, this is spherical shell. Potential here, potential here, potential here, potential here. It is same. Everywhere it is same, constant. But outside, here potential is different from point potential here. Here one small correction. This should be theta prime, phi prime. Here also it should be theta prime, d theta prime, d phi prime. Before going further, I want to mention one fact. The coordinates, differential areas, differential lengths pertaining to source point, they are indicated with the primes. Whereas differential lengths, differential areas, differential volumes are coordinates pertaining field point, they are indicated without any prime. This convention is followed to avoid any confusion. Now last one is we consider solid spherical charge. Actually this is an extension of the previous charge configuration. The solid sphere can be divided into thin shells of thickness dr. But we are already having expression for potential due to a thin shell. Now we divide this solid into shells. For each shell potential, we can simply write down the expression already available. And then we add this addition gives rise to certain amount of potential. This is the potential due to these shells. All these shells put together is the spherical charge distribution. Therefore, the resultant potential must be the potential due to this solid spherical charge. This is the idea. Coordinate system to be followed is used is spherical system because it is sphere. Location center of the shell right over the origin with the field point lying over z-axis. Here also we consider two situations. In one situation, field point outside at a distance of h naught. In another situation, field point inside at a distance of hi. The actual scenario seen, you can see here. Here, field point is outside. This is charge. It is divided into thin shells. We consider a typical shell at a distance of r from the origin. Thickness is dr. The thickness is so small that you can consider it as a spherical shell. And once you consider it as a spherical shell, you can use the formula which we have derived in the previous problem. That is this dV dr. This is potential at P due to this shell. This is the one which we have derived in the previous problem. Now, if you want potential due to the entire charge distribution, integrate it from 0 to A. R varies from 0 to A. Integrate with a little bit of manipulation, you will be getting 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r. Notice this is same as the potential due to a point charge. Now, when the point is inside, when let us say this is charge distribution, your point is inside. Now, field point is inside. Now, we can divide this total charge distribution into two. One within a radius of hi, another in between hi and a. This is a. This is hi, this one. Okay, now this point is contributed in potential by two charges. Let us call it inside one 1, outside one 2. Both contribute to the potential at point P. Now potential at P due to charge distribution 1, we are already having with us this expression. It is same as the potential V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R. See, this is when field point is outside. What is potential? Here it is available. In the previous step, it is available. Now, what is the potential due to charge distribution 2? That one we have to evaluate. We have to find out. Right. So V is potential due to charge that is existing between 0 radius and Hi plus potential due to charge that is existing between Hi and A. Charge existing that is between 0 and Hi is given by this formula. That existing between Hi and A is given by this formula. By performing certain integration, one can easily. Ultimately, summing these two, we get this is the one. So this is what I want to share with you. Before conclusion, I want to tell that potential is an important aspect. Scalar potential has an added advantage, that is, it is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantities are easy to deal with when compared to vector quantities. So whenever a choice is to be made, it is wise to opt for potential because it is able to provide as much information as provided by field intensity, which is a vector quantity. Vector quantities are always difficult to deal with. This is what I want to share for this session.